Good afternoon and welcome to the Spot On Hose and Fittings Clubhouse on this amazing Monday night live from Adelaide. I'm your host, Anthony Telfer, and it's an absolute pleasure to bring you edition number 104. And as we know, the Clubhouse is not just a show about cricket. It's a place where we come together to relive the highlights, share our thoughts and celebrate the day's play with both our teammates, opposition and umpires over a cold beer or a soft drink. So whether you're a club cricketer or an international player, the Clubhouse has something special for everyone. The Clubhouse, as usual, also is brought to you by our wonderful sponsor, Spot On Hose and Fittings, who specialise in the supply of hydraulic hose and fittings for the mining, manufacturing, agricultural, industrial and construction industries. So tell Jeff and Ben Charlesworth that Telf and Walshy sent you, and I'm sure they'll look after you and give you a red hot deal. But as usual, I am joined in the Clubhouse by great mate and Aussie legendary broadcaster, Peter Walsh. Wow, mate, what an amazing weekend we've had with the mighty Hawks. Now, just before you say hello, my ladder predictor, my AFL ladder predictor has now got the Hawks finishing fourth.
Okay, well, can I get some of the medication you're on? Can I tell you, the classic is that they won't win this week because they've got a bye.
Exactly.
Oh, no, the football's good and fun, but the massive smiles that we get from our guests make my night, because it's hard to believe here we are ensconced in Adelaide and in Bendigo, and our two guru Bobs, who will talk, and they will talk really well tonight, are on the other side of the world, sitting in a hotel, getting ready to ply their trade. How good is life?
Yeah, no, life is great, Walshy, and let's get cracking, because these two guys have got buses to catch and people to see, and obviously a game of cricket to win. So, edition number 104. Let's go. But before we do, don't forget the IF project and also Spot On. They're our two major partners. And look, more importantly, Walshy, if you've had an opportunity, make sure you download the IF app and share it with all your mates, because together we can make a difference to someone that might be doing it tough. So if you are doing it tough, reach out, grab the IF app, and I'm sure it will make a difference to your life. But tonight, we're back in Ireland, and that's the second time in 2 weeks, Walshy. And tonight, after being joined by the skipper of the Irish team, Angus Dunlop, on Monday night, tonight we're joined by two Aussie legends, two over 50s Aussie legends, I should clarify. One is the vice captain, Anthony Barranca, and the other is another legend and a great mate, Phil Melville, who join us tonight live from Ireland. How are you guys? Welcome to the Clubhouse.
Thanks, Tel. Walshy. Good evening, guys.
Are you having a ball over there or what?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, mate. We've enjoyed Ireland. It's a shame we're only here for 4 days, but we've enjoyed it. Weather's been good, so yeah.
Very, very good. And look, we're obviously here joined by two guys that are over there on tour with the Australian over 50s team, and a great opportunity to catch up with them as they've been preparing. We spoke with Clarkey a week ago, but it's good to finally catch up with you guys over there in Ireland. Tell us what the flight was like and when you got there, and maybe some of the things that you've been doing since you've been there in Ireland.
Yeah. The flight was good. I mean, it's long. The first part, the slog to Abu Dhabi is not easy, 14 hours. You used to take it for granted when you're younger, but as we get older, the creaks, and the soreness creep in, sitting in economy. Fuzz doesn't have that problem. He's up in the behind end of the plane. But
it's not true, you know that.
But since arriving, we've had good downtime with family and friends and recovery time. And yesterday was our first day of cricket. We had training and we went and had a look at the ground we're playing at today, and most importantly, we had the cap presentation last night, which was very emotional moment, both as a presenter and seeing guys receive their caps in front of their family, and the messages from home from their wives and kids. Yeah.
Hey Phil, don't you start crying at 30 seconds into the show.
Did you hear it in his voice?
Yeah, I can hear his voice quivering.
I get emotional. Seriously.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no,
it was a good touch, Telf, because we did videos from family that weren't there for the first time, and it was awesome. All the guys teared up, and it was very emotional.
Yeah, no, I caught some of the feeds on some of the socials, and I could see that the video was played in the background, and from family and loved ones that obviously couldn't make the journey, and it must have been a very special moment. Jet lag, has anyone suffered from jet lag and not recovered from the trip, or you've all acclimatized now to Irish time?
Yeah, they've most have recovered. They'd be lying if they said they didn't have a little bit of jet lag, but some recover quicker than others. But no, they'd be good. I think that's the beauty of 2 days earlier. So yeah, I think that worked really well.
And obviously, a couple of days in Ireland, I think it's been one obviously doing a little bit of touring and obviously walking around and some cricket training. Some of the sites that you've been to, I spotted the Guinness factory, I guess. Do we call it the factory or distillery or whatever? That looked quite an amazing place to go to. Are there any other highlights so far that you'd like to mention about Ireland?
Well, Phil's done a bit. So
yeah, I with my wife and some of the other wives and mums and sisters.
How many wives have you got?
Oh, just the one. just the one for this tour, Walshy. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go there.
Didn't bring his girlfriend.
Yeah, well worded, Phil. We did the hop on, hop off bus tour, and that takes in a lot of Ireland. And I think that the driver adds to that with their characters, the Irish, their wit and their humour and their one-liners are, that's half the admission alone.
Yeah, and the Guinness factory. Before I throw to Walshy, is it taste any better over there than compared to here in Australia?
I can guarantee it does, mate. It is undoubtedly the probably freshest Guinness you'll get. But and a couple of the bars are pretty good. Temple Bar's pretty famous. And we went and checked out Camden Street and watched the soccer last night, just a quiet one. A few of us, and supposedly the biggest screen in all of Europe. So that was good to go see a couple of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Walsh, I'll throw to you, and you can ask some hard punching questions to the boys.
Well, I'm going to swing away from cricket for a moment because I'm fascinated about how you're ensconced in a different country and you're ready to play at your top level straight away. How careful do you have to be about what you eat and drink? And I'm talking about drinks break, I'm talking about the lunch break, the tea break afterwards. Touring teams, and I'm using the Australians as an example, when they went to places like India and Pakistan and Sri Lanka and that, you had to be so careful because of your tummies. Do you know what now you are facing up to, Phil and Anthony, facing up to, I'm saying in a good term, for when you go to play your cricket?
Yeah, probably the biggest danger, Walsh, is your overindulgence at breakfast.
Yeah, the hotel's magnificent.
The hotel is next level, and the breakfast is second to none. So, I mean, we've probably hoed in on the days we're not playing. With training yesterday and game day today, we've probably eased off a bit. That's the key. You have a big breakfast, and you don't really eat much during the day. Then.
And most guys have got good diet. Most guys have got good diets. You can see there's a lot of fruit in breakfast, and that it's not the heavy stuff that just makes you feel uncomfortable. So, we're 50 plus. We should be all over that by now.
Yeah, and the players that you've met and you've greeted and you've shaken their hands, what's it like now that you're off the plane, you're into training and you're ready for go mode, and that is when you're going to play your games? Any nerves at all? You've both been around for a long time. You've played plenty of cricket. What's it like now inside with the butterflies?
It's pretty good. I tend to, your nerves come probably closer to the game when you're on the ground, and that's always a good thing. Yesterday at training, the Angus Dunlop that you had on the show recently, he came down and to say hello, as he said, but I think he really was, scouting. Yeah, exactly right, Telf. But he's a nice gentleman. He stayed around, had a chat with me, Telf, a few of the other guys. So, no, we've been welcomed very nicely, yeah.
Right. Now, the one before I go back to Telf, and I've mentioned this to Telf before we started the interview because Telf's a wicketkeeper. I'm interested in what the wicketkeeper does in the warm-ups. Now, the fast bowlers come in and they bowl and the spinners might do whatever, but is there a part and parcel of what a wicketkeeper has to do to get all the body parts right? Because you're creaking, you need an oil can from time to time with the number of movements. Tell us what you have to go through.
Oh, me as a keeper, I'll do the normal stretch that like we do as a whole team. The warm-up games, just the mental stuff that we do and just the warm-up. And then I'll go and just get some balls hit to me to get my feet moving side to side. And then I'll really take the bowlers out, like centre wicket, and they'll bowl at a stump, and I'll just do that. That's kind of the norm for a wicket keeper.
Yeah, and what's the part of the body that goes first when you're a wicket keeper and you've got to move so quick and do so many little things? I'm talking stumpings and run-outs and caught behinds and down the leg side. Do you have to be very, very wary of making sure that you look after your body?
Oh, most definitely. I'd probably do more leg work, calves, quads, hammies, groins. You're up and down, but that's probably the majority, more lower body than upper body. But, just total fitness and eating well has a big part in that.
Yeah, and that's what I talked to you about, Telf, before we crossed over. And I mean, you take it for granted, these wicket keepers, they bounce around like little grasshoppers, but you've got to be very, very fit and well looked after by those on the sidelines who can do the rubbing.
Oh, look,
especially if you want to open as well.
Exactly right.
Yes, of course.
Look, this may be a little bit biased, but the keepers are the engine room of any good cricket team. Hey, Fuzz?
Oh, mate, no complaints here, mate. You're dead right.
Hey, you touched on training. How did that go? And obviously, I think you trained on turf. I think I saw photos of you training on turf. What were those tracks like compared to anywhere in Australia that you've seen? And, Fuzz, you're from WA and Melville, you're from New South Wales. So there must have been some similarities with a wicket that you've seen somewhere before?
Yeah, I mean, no? The tracks sort of simulated a bit what we're going to encounter, I think. I'll have to be honest, draw on my experience playing here many years ago, but they're okay. Yeah, I mean, they're
like a hybrid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
are they?
Yeah, they are. Even the next week, it was actually a really good hit out. And even the track we're playing on, we went and checked it out halfway through the game and it was a hybrid. There's a plastic, and then the grass on top, which grows up, not out, so it's hard to maintain.
Yeah, they don't tend to mud roll their wickets over here like they do in Australia.
Okay, and so the grass, I guess, is it a ryegrass or a ryegrass?
Yeah, it is the ryegrass.
Yeah,
it is the ryegrass,
correct.
Yeah.
I can
not
tell
a
you,
treat like we have.
I can tell you blokes have never been curators before. You got no idea what you're talking about.
No, you should have seen Karki talk with the curator yesterday.
He would have been all over it.
Oh, he loved it. He was in his element.
Yeah, I bet he was. Hey, now, I don't know how long we've been going. Well, we've nearly been 10, 15 minutes. Tell us how far away you are from the ground and what the ground is like that you're going to be playing on today. I think it's the Pembroke Cricket Club where you're playing.
Correct.
Yeah. It's very picturesque ground. It's tucked in behind housing. Narrow laneway driveway. Our bus couldn't get up there yesterday, so dropped us on the street and we had to walk up. But we didn't have bags or anything, so that's no big deal. And it's a shared facility with the rugby club, but the rugby don't play on the cricket pitch, so there's not a lot of wear and tear on the deck other than cricket. But tiny boundaries, square, or one side in particular. Probably slightly bigger than Nelson Telf, if you can relate to that straight. You probably, where Nelson was about 42 metres from the bowlers, and these are probably 55 metres at a guess straight.
Good nets too. They had good nets. Looking forward to having a hit on the nets before the game.
Unreal live stream facilities, 2 or 3 camera angles, camera sitting on top of the side screen, and another camera sort of widen it on, and I think there's a third camera too at widen it off. So
one of the things that we'll be doing, and I've just received the live streaming details, is that we'll be sharing it on the Spirit of Cricket and all around the socials right around Australia. So everyone will be able to jump on board and obviously watch you guys perform. Although, as I understand it, you two guys aren't playing today. You drew the short straw, or you're just saving yourself for next week?
I think there's a bit of a plan. Like, I mean, we got 7 debutants, and actually every single one of them, it's probably a first, they're playing this game. So I think it's, it is a 10 games in 17 days. So I think it's a bit of man management and just being smart about it. So I think, there's some new guys we want to have a look at, really.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the purpose of these tours. Walshy, straight over to you.
This is a curly one for me because I'm not exactly sure which of you two guys played in this game. So you have to help me, please. Hold my hand. The captain of the team was Mark.
Well, so I might chance.
Well, is it Mark, Hullet, captain of the team that you played in?
Mark Hullet, yes, great man.
Mark Hullet, thank you.
Yes.
Now, the snippet of information I'd like you to embellish on was he got the group together, they're all in a circle, and he spoke to them in strong, stoic tones to say, you might never, ever, it was the grand final.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah, you mightn't be in the same team again ever. You mightn't see these guys. So when you go out there to play, this has to be your day. And from the snippets that I've got, it was inspirational stuff. And you players who won that premiership never played in the same team again.
Correct. And won 3 out of 4 years in the A-grade final, won it, and no one team was the same. So this team will never be the same, and even in like New Zealand. So, I've carried that through with me, and, it's something I've never forgotten, Walshy. And
did he say anything to you? I'm sorry for interrupting. Did he say anything to you that stood out? Was there something that, the hot gospeler can really throw the fists in the air and get pumped up, or was it just well measured and the message was got across?
The latter, definitely well measured. We were close mates as well. A lot of group of us were indoor cricketers together, so that kind of helped. Everyone knew each other quite well. But it was just something that the first time I'd heard that, and it just instantly thought, that's so true. And I think it reflected the way we played that day. We were clinical, and everyone was in it for the same reason.
So when you look at the eyes, when you do start your campaign, you want to see in the eyes, you want to see fire, and you want to see fire in the belly, but you want to see everybody concentrating hard on what the job is at hand.
Yeah, totally, mate. Totally.
Tell.
I don't know where you get all this information from, Walsh. You've got far too much time on your hands to be researching.
Very good, yeah.
I was thinking, oh, no, he's lost the plot here. But I tell you what, well done, Walshy. Great research. Now, a quick one. You mentioned 7 new debutants today. Do you have a copy of the team there in front of you, and would you like to announce the starting 12?
Phil would. Yeah.
Phil, just bear with me, Telf. It's on our chat.
Well, I can tell you who's not playing, which would help. Us two. Yeah. Spider and Stephen Mace.
Okay.
So the other 12.
So all the old blokes.
Go for it, Phil. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Telf. I'll read the team out, and it's in no particular order. Captain's Tony Clark. Anthony Daly from Tasmania makes his debut. Grant Dew from Victoria makes his debut. Peter Dell from Victoria makes his debut. Andrew Kratzman, Damien Meek, Glenn Giddings from New South Wales makes his debut. Simon Waddington from New South Wales makes his debut. Pete Kebley. We've been calling him Keble, but
no, it's Kebley. It's definitely Kebley.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Anyway, so Clint's making his debut from Queensland captain.
Wonderful.
Andrew Sharp, Brett James, and Guy Randell from ACT makes his debut.
Yeah, wonderful stuff, and good luck to all of those new starters that will get to wear that baggy green for the very first time. Just a quick one, and I see Meekie's playing. I saw a photo today, and I'd like you to share through what was going through his head when he was told that he needed to sign everything on the table.
Well, Clarkie goes, sign everything on the table. And he kind of says, everything? And he took it literally like he does. He's a joker. So he started by signing the plates and the sauces and all the bats. So that we had 20 bats there that everyone's going to sign that we're going to give out as man of the match awards and a flag. But he started with the plate and sauce, which was quite funny.
Hopefully he's hit him because we got the room for nothing.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm glad that he's playing today because he would have been putting his hand up. I'll talk to Telf and Walshy, and it would have spoilt the show to have him on board because I'm just over the love that I get from the man. But anyway, look, that team on paper looks really good. It's got some great batting depth, and I think whatever happens in the game, I think it'll be a great preparation for what's going to be an exciting couple of weeks for everyone over there. I don't have anything else really to cover off unless you guys want to say one last word, and then I'll throw to Walshy and he can ask maybe a couple of questions as well. In fact, Walshy, why don't you go first, and then we'll finish with the guys.
All right. Now, we don't want to digress because we're concentrating hard on what you guys are going to be up against with Ireland. And we know the Australians are playing in the World Cup, but they dropped 6 catches. Now, that is unusual. So the question that I go to you two guys is, how much emphasis is there on catching practice when you're getting yourself ready for a game?
Plenty, especially with these juke balls, because a lot of guys, they're a hard ball, and catching does require a little bit of craning because they are so hard. So we definitely make an emphasis on using the pink juke balls at training and doing a lot of catching. So we definitely learnt from the World Cup as well. Also, when the ball gets slightly older, it's hard to pick up in the outfield. So, fielders can actually help the outfielders in that sense as well.
Yeah, well answered. Have you got to know any of the Irish guys at all? You get a chance to say good day and not just knock down a Guinness or two, but be friendly with them. They'd be a good group, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not in the hotel like when you're away in other. They're home. So we've only seen Angus, and he also came down and said, "Oh, who's Mickey?" After your chat, so he wanted to find out who he was also. So it was quite good. Yeah. So I've only met the captain, but I'm sure they're all similar. All great bunch of players.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Very good, Walsh. And then, look, when we did catch up with Angus, he did stress the importance of the after-game festivities, which is a very big part of, obviously, what we do with veterans cricket. Just a bit of inside information. I don't know if you actually caught the show with Angus, but apparently he captained Ireland, and there's a couple of players that have represented Ireland at ICC level. So good luck today against them. And obviously, I've even spoken to Simon Milton, who said the team that the Irish have put on the park for today's game are stronger than the team that they put on the park against the Poms earlier in the year. So it's going to be a cracking match. I really am looking forward to it. And we'll definitely share all of the results, and we'll have an update tomorrow morning on how the Aussies fared. So maybe one last word from both of you, and then we'll wrap the show up and let you guys get on the road.
Well, for me, we definitely won't underestimate them. That's one thing for sure. Everyone's got a job to do here, and they know that. And there's going to be nerves, obviously, with 7 guys. But us as a group, we have our plans, and we're going out there to win, but also to have fun and play in the spirit of cricket, which we totally believe in. And personally, I just want to thank everyone that's been hounding me for this link, which finally come in this morning. I will be sharing it on Facebook and everything. And so to all my friends and family, we'll do us proud.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Mel?
Looking forward. Obviously, I'm sitting out today, but I'll be running drinks and doing the jobs that the 13th man does in veterans cricket. Looking forward to it. It's funny, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning and I'm not even playing, so I can imagine the 7 guys who are making the debut. They wouldn't have slept well. But in the old stage I am, I went and did my laundry at 6 a.m. So that was interesting.
You didn't see Clarkie. So. You didn't see Clarkie in the laundry?
No. I've got an interesting laundry here itself. They have these things over here at Circle K petrol stations. And instead of picking up your LPG gas or your ice or whatever, they've just got a washing machine and a dryer.
Wow.
So you just put your stuff in and wipe your car and away you go. And it's pretty boring for an hour standing at the garage. But anyway, it's an interesting way of doing your washing. But,
you can't just come back and pick it up later on.
Yeah, someone else might.
Anyway, hey, Walshy, did you want to have one last word about our sponsor? Have you got that in front of you or not?
I certainly have, yes. I've been supplied by our executive producer, and I'm glad it's here. As usual, the Clubhouse is brought to you by Spot On Hose and Fittings, who specialise in the supply of hydraulic hose and fittings for the mining, manufacturing, agriculture, industrial and construction industries. Tell Jeff and Jeff and Ben Charlesworth, get myself or Telf to say good day and do all those things, and you'll be able to find out what our guru over there had for breakfast. He said he's been down to the laundry for a while. He likes his breakfast, but he hasn't actually given us the menu.
I didn't go the whole hog, Welshie. Just eggs on toast and a bit of fruit today, being match day. But I have cashed in the first couple of days on non-activity days.
Well done,
yeah,
boys.
good luck to you, blokes, and good luck to the team too.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And look, don't forget, if you're watching tonight, subscribe to SOC TV on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch up with everything that's happening with the Aussie team while they're over in the UK. But more importantly, keep an eye out for the player draft, which is coming up on the 7th of July. And I think these two gentlemen have nominated, so it'll be interesting. Although I know, Fuzz, you're already captain of one of the franchises, so it'll be interesting to see if Mel gets picked up. Maybe you two could do a bit of a deal and get him into your franchise, hey?
Yeah, mate. We're looking at him. Don't you worry about that.
Look, it's an exciting time here at the Spirit of Cricket, and no more so than today when a lot of 7 new guys get to represent their country for the first time. So once again, thanks very much for joining us tonight. Go well, and hopefully we'll catch up with you guys over the course of the tour of the UK. So thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks, Walshy.
Thanks, Telf, and thanks to Phil and Anthony and all the best of the Australians and the Irish as we are away we go.
Thanks, Walshy. Telf, thanks for your support too.
Thanks, everyone.
Pleasure. Good luck, guys. Cheers.